Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to two of my favourite people and two of the country's biggest stars, David and Frankie. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for having us on.
Well, you guys are living the dream. You see, what it is when two delicious people meet each other, especially on a show like Dancing on Ice, and then fall in love and get married and end up talking about cats, it's the ultimate dream, really, isn't it?
That's a great recipe, isn't it?
Now, I've been asked to talk to you today about the cats. Is this the musical, or are we talking about the protection people?
Well, I have to say that is my favourite musical, but we're talking about Cats Protection National Cat Awards, and David and I are lucky enough to be judging one of the categories, the Outstanding Rescue Cat, so we're very excited, and thanks for having us on to talk about it.
Well, I've got to stop you already. Did you just say Cats is one of your favourite musicals? I had to walk out of it. I couldn't stand it. What a racket that thing was.
I can't believe you've admitted that.
I wish I had a hang-up button.
What is it then about cats and you? Because I know you really like them. Most people say they're a cat person or a dog person. I'm both too. Are you the same?
Yeah, we've been both. We've both had dogs before as well, and but I've always had cat. With our lifestyle, a cat is much easier to handle because obviously we've got a cat flap and we've got quite a bit of a garden for them to mooch around in when we're not there, and it's just something that, you know, over the years, the love for cats has just got greater and greater, you know, the affection that they give you. And, you know, people say that, yeah, but a cat doesn't wait at the door for you. But, you know, I sometimes find one of our cats, either Smokey or Willow, they're actually waiting at the gate for us.
Yeah, and they're so smart, aren't they? They decide when they come to you, but when they do, that love is completely authentic, whereas dogs are just a bit dopey and love everybody if they're a lover.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely both have their benefits, but I think cats are much more subtle in their affections, and I think that's why they seem that we appreciate them much more.
Let's talk about these awards then. 15 fabulous felines have been named the finalists in the Cats Protection National Cat Awards 2019. This seems to get bigger every year. People love it, don't they? It's uplifting and fun, and my God, do we need that at this time particularly?
Absolutely, and I think if you look on anywhere on social media or YouTube, the whole internet is awash with crazy cat videos, which is lovely because it's nice that we can celebrate the funny times that we have and that we share with our cats in our homes. But this day is really about celebrating some of those really incredibly special relationships that humans and cats have and have shared. And I think some of the awards, when you look through them, you see that some of these cats have raised the alarm for people with health issues. Other cats have helped people through mental health issues. We've seen therapy cats that have helped people through extreme grief. And I think what a lovely thing for us to be able to come together and celebrate not only the cats, but also have the owners celebrate too.
And so many great stories. And it's quite moving, this award ceremony, isn't it, David? I mean, people literally end up in tears by the end of it.
Yeah, you certainly want to bring your tissues. But the stories are great, you know. We're looking in our category at the Outstanding Rescue Cat, you know, and I've seen the clips of it, and it's going to be really hard to choose one of them because, you know, each and every individual story is really special. Let's
talk about you two, if we may. It's 10 years just above since you first met. I mean, can you believe it? It seems like only yesterday to me, let alone to you two.
No, it's dragged.
You're fed up already, aren't you?
It is, you know, but all through that time we've always had cats, you know, so that must be the little secret ingredient.
That's a link.
There you go. Well, if nothing else, it's a distraction if you get bored with each other, isn't it?
Yeah.
Animals and children do that, don't they, really? Give you something to talk about during the lulls. Dancing on Ice, of course, came back this year, and it was this big furore. And of course, that's how we fell in love with you, Frankie, wasn't it? You must have missed not being on it. Did you bother watching it, or did you just avoid it?
Oh, I was really sad not to be included the last 2 years since it's been back. But obviously, I had a great 9 years on there, which I met my husband as well. So I certainly look back with it with fond memories. And I am 46 now, so bits of my body would probably fall off. I was being swung around by my arms and legs now.
But they do often when we're skating together. You have to go around and do a little collection off the ice.
My limbs.
It's funny, I just spent a month in Vegas. I got home yesterday, and one of my favourite acts is in a show called Absinthe, which is the skating act, where he literally takes and spins her around with his neck and by her feet and does that head thing on the floor. I mean, the strength you've got to have is remarkable, and the discipline. Is there a point when you have to say enough is enough, the body has taken enough?
I mean, I think as an athlete, David retired when he was 40, and I was lucky enough to continue skating till I was 42. But you're right, eventually, although your mind is willing and you really want to continue, I think the body says, actually, you can't keep doing this, because it is, like you said, very difficult, very strenuous, and especially as a female athlete, you have to be incredibly strong.
I just Googled you both in doing preparation for this interview, and it's amazing the furore around your beautiful relationship that ended up becoming a marriage, and now we're sat here today. Were even you surprised, David, at how many people cared? It was extraordinary, right?
It was, yeah. I was surprised. But as a bloke, you don't really look at that, do you? You just think, oh no, this is nice, and you just get on with it.
What did you see in the stunning, beautiful, delicious Frankie? What was it?
Exactly.
What's interesting?
A free coach on the ice.
Yeah, there you go. I tell you what's interesting though with footballers. I've been very lucky. I did a football phone-in on a radio station once, and it's the only occupation in the world where guys are probably more interested to talk to you than be distracted by Frankie. It's extraordinary the love that people have got for you. You were part of that halcyon day of football, where the sort of Gaza era, where we just fell in love with you and Lineker and those people. It was a beautiful time, wasn't it?
It was, and it was a good time, a good successful time, especially with Arsenal, because in my career I won 9 winners' medals and quite a few runners-up as well. And then obviously with the England era, obviously Euro 96, we had Italia 90 where Gaza was brilliant. Then we go into Euro 96, which was, playing football in your own country in a European tournament like that was just fantastic. And we did so well, yeah, we came so close, but I think that's when a lot of people fell back in love with the England football team.
And shortly afterwards fell out of love, didn't they?
I know, but I think that's just happened again, though, with last summer.
Yeah.
With how good they were in the World Cup.
And the potential moving forward. It's so exciting.
Yeah, so a lot of people have fallen back in love with it.
Just 15 minutes ago, I had Rebecca Adlington on the phone, and I was talking to her about that period of mourning where you stop doing what you love the most. Is it tricky to sort of bridge that gap between doing it 7 days a week, obsessing over your passion, whether it be skating or football or swimming, and then becoming a normal person again? Was it tricky for you, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm still struggling with that, to be honest. I loved skating so much. It gave me so much in my life, and I've done it for over 35 years. So for me, it is a hard gap to fill. But I think the transition's been quite slow, actually, because I sort of retired once when I was 30, then again when I was 42, and so I might go back again and have another swan song at it.
But for me, honestly, I have not missed it since day one, since I've retired 15 years ago.
Really?
I have not missed football at all. I was ready for it. I was 40 years of age, and I've got a lot of other stuff that I wanted to do, because I love my fishing, I love my golf, I bike ride, we ice skate, we do a lot of work for charity, and so life is different. It's totally different, but it's still very exciting.
I liked getting paid for being fit. That's what I really enjoyed. I like not ever having to think about having a McDonald's or kebab or whatever I want. I could eat whatever I wanted and still be in amazing shape, and now I have to kind of work at that.
And then, of course, reality show brought you together. I mean, what about The Voice or X Factor, David? I mean, you've clearly got an incredible set of pipes on you. I mean, is this...
Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
No.
So, I can't dance and I can't sing, so I've said no to Strictly, and I've certainly said no to The Voice.
If they bring out a reality TV show with cats on it, we can trot out our beautiful foster kittens that we've got at home right now, but that's about as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
How hard is it to train? I mean, when you get a kitten and you're not quite sure of its history and its sort of upbringing, or even the abuse it may have experienced, is that a lot tougher, or do you just have to give it more love and time and it'll come good in the end?
So I have fostered kittens that were actually born in my home. I do that quite a lot. Or I've also fostered ferals that were brought to me that either had been abandoned or sort of been living on the street on their own. Ferals are obviously a lot harder, and you have to do a lot more exercises with them, trust exercises. So that can be quite difficult. When they're born in your home, you immediately, within about the first after about 5 days, you can sort of get your hands in there and they get used to smelling humans and getting used to humans just being part of their world. So that does make life a lot easier.
Amazing. Before we go, let's just talk about life today, some 10 years after you met. Can you believe your luck, David? Because, I mean, you're punching above your weight, aren't you? Let's face it. Come on.
I have got a face for radio, actually.
Yes, but a body for lycra, there's a big difference.
I I've got the voice for radio.
There you go. Congratulations on everything, the pair of you. It's lovely to talk to David Seaman, of course, Frankie, and we wish you all the best moving forward. You can find out more about the fabulous felines who will be taking part in the Cats Protection National Cat Awards 2019. You can go to the website, which is www.cats.org.uk. Guys, thank you so much for your time. It's great chatting.
Thanks so much.